December meeting of the Muskego Parks and Conservation Committee to order.
Make sure your mic is on.
Is the, turn your mic on. First item is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Wendy, you want to call the roll?
Sure. Alderman Kapusta? Toby Whipple?
Here.
Terry Boyer?
Here.
Matthew Bugman?
Present.
Barbara Erdman?
Here.
Bill Miller? Barbara Schrader?
Here.
Okay. I'm out.
And the meeting was posted in accordance with the open meeting laws, correct?
Correct, on December 16th.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the May 2nd meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any corrections or discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Okay, new business. First item is Eagle Scout project. And I believe is Philip here and going to speak?
Yep,
Okay.
Philip's going to speak a little bit. I just kind of wrote a little memo. He's here to speak. If you're familiar with Horn, that's a flagpole there. We're going to do a little walkway, and the yellow, that's where you're planning on doing your Cannonball Monument. So Philip's here is going to just give a little description of what he's going to do.
Thank you. So what I'm doing, I'm building a memorial to Hans Christian Heggs, a Civil War hero and abolitionist from Muskego. The design features, this is going to be brick, more of a sandstone color, and that's the closest what I could get you, the Cream City brick to match the already existing monument there. There's going to be cannonballs at the top. That's going to be reminiscent of his memorial in Chickamauga, where he died. Then on here, I'm going to put a plaque. The plaque, what it's going to say is very reminiscent of the already existing memorial in Wind Lake and in Madison. It's going to say, it's just going to have American flag emblem with the national motto saying, dedicated to Hans Christian Haig, Colonel of the 15th Wisconsin Volunteers Infantry, born in Norway, December 21st, 1829, fell at the Civil War Battle of Chickamauga, December 19th, 1863, and died September 20th, 1863.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
Why did you choose this gentleman?
Because obviously he's a prominent figure from our city. He fought and died for the preservation of a union. He was also a lifelong abolitionist for the freedom of Americans, so I thought he was a fitting person to represent our community.
Good job.
I was just curious what the cannonballs are going to be made out of, and I'm assuming they're going to be secured.
It's going to be cast iron.
Pardon?
It's going to be cast iron
Cast
cannonballs.
iron?
Yes.
Okay. Are we doing anything with the flagpole there? Because I noticed in the picture it's pretty rusty.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just happened to notice it.
Well, not part of my project.
Not part of his project, all right. Okay, is there a motion to, is there any other discussion?
Looks great.
Motion to approve Philip's project?
I so move.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next item is the Muskego Astronauts Snowmobile Club request for trail markings, which is as they've done for many years.
Yeah, it's just our standard kind of approval every year.
Is there a motion to approve? with the
Motion to approve.
stipulation that any repairs the snowmobile club is responsible for, any damage done on the trail.
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay.
Second, yeah.
Any further discussion?
I'm sorry, I missed. He was first?
Matt, yeah, and then Barb. Okay. Any discussion, questions? Same as it's been for many years. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Next item is the increase in idle aisle parking fees. Tammy, I assume you're going to speak to this?
I'm just here to answer any questions you
Okay.
might have on it. So we've been charging parking fees at Idle Isle for as long as I've been here. We have the electronic pay stations there that currently handle that, and we would like to raise it to match what the county has, so we can continue to provide staffing there to help with any issues that arise at the park during the day. It is still a really busy park since COVID. So those funds will help offset our park rangers that
What's
work
our
there.
daily fee now? It's just $1,
It's
isn't it?
$1 right now,
That's what I
Monday,
thought.
Monday through like 5 o'clock Friday, and then it's 4 o'clock Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. So we would go with a uniform fee and then provide a season pass for residents or non-residents. They could come and buy one at a reduced rate, so then they don't, after a couple of visits, they would have paid for it.
You don't need any action on this, do you? Do we need a motion to approve this? It's already pretty much been approved by the.
We have to send it to finance for approval. Anything
Okay.
with fees has to go to finance, so. Yeah,
Okay.
just wanted your feedback.
I think
Anybody
it's fine.
have any objections or questions or comments? Thank you.
All right. I think the next one might be me too. I don't know.
Boat launch fees, increase in idle aisle boat launch fees.
So we have not raised the boat launch fees here for a really long time. The DNR did raise the fees a few years ago. And so we would like to raise the fees to match what the DNR minimums are for our road end launches, Boxhorn, Durham, and then all of the ones on Little Muskego to Noon, up to $8. We're at $7 right now. And then we have a sliding scale that we can change the fees for Idle Isle because we have attendants on duty there, as well as indoor restrooms, like the DNR has different specifications. So we would like to raise all of those fees up, as those monies, when we raise anything for the launches, they go right back into paying for improvements on the launches, which we need to do in the next couple of years. So we need to work on bringing in some revenue to take care of those.
Do we need any action on this?
You probably could vote on this one because this is probably, it will go to finance tomorrow.
Yeah.
This will probably be more of a hot button topic than the daily parking. Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve this.
I'll second.
Any discussion or questions? I think it's still pretty cheap.
What about the surrounding communities that have lakes? Are they up with what the DNR has also?
Pretty much everybody was at the base. The $8 is the base for the DNR for inland waterways, so they were already there. You can be under what the DNR offers. You can do free. There are a few smaller lakes, but anybody who has like what we have with nice launches and things, they are charging those increased fees.
Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. Thanks, Tammy.
Yep. Again?
Park Arthur Athletic Field
Oh.
Use Policy
All right.
Update.
I couldn't remember how many things that we put in there. That's what happens when we only have meetings 3 times a
Yeah,
year.
really.
So we went in front of finance and council earlier this fall to streamline the reservation process for reserving the Park Arthur fields. There isn't really any major fee changes for Muskego teams, just creating a new form that's a one and done. So they can get the shelter, the concession area, everything, and streamline the fees to be more reader friendly so people kind of knew what they were going to have to pay before they would fill out the form and wait to find out from us. Now it's kind of a standard rate. So we last year had like 11 tournaments. We're already at 17 for this year. We have all the way from April through July booked, and then 3 in the fall. So it was more of just an informational section than a request.
Any questions for Tammy regarding the Park Arthur? Okay. All right. That was easy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Scott, updates on Parks capital projects for 2023.
Yeah, so we have two major big projects that are coming in 2023. First one, dog park. So if you could scroll to the map and everything. So what happened was we had a city Muskego resident who was donated a very large sum of money for a dog park. We are kind of like, this is the area that we're looking at to do. It's going to both have a small and large dog area. It's going to be fenced in. We're going to get them a water supply. There's certain things that the donor has asked that we're willing to do as part of this project. Also, as part of capital, we kicked in like $25,000, I think we had in there to help with this dog park. So again, from all our surveys and from the latest ones, it's always top 5. This is a dog park. It just happens to be. It's gonna look nice, similar to what other people have seen in other dog parks. So that's kind of the main one that we're beginning to get quotes for and different costs. It's a great area to do it in. Large parking area. We have a hydrant right near it, so we can get water source there. And it's kind of like we started mowing down that area back there, so you kind of start seeing the ground being done. Any questions with that one?
This area isn't being used for the soccer fields.
No, the soccer fields, you can see them in the front.
Right.
We know that we're going to keep them away. If you look at the picture, there is soccer there. We can continue to use it, and it should not go into any of the fields. So,
Any questions?
Where is it located?
okay, so that's a skate park. You see a skate park there? Right there, that is a skate park right off
Okay.
Moreland Park.
Okay.
Yep.
Now I know.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
It's like the south end
Yeah.
before you get to the pond area.
So, and I see that like 6-inch walking path, there's none there now. So we're all going to put all that in there as well, infrastructure. So, and then I think there's memorial bricks and stuff so that we'll always have other people that might want to donate stuff. And as they donate stuff, there's a ton of things you could get for a dog park, like areas for the dogs to jump on. So there's a long list of things that we can do. So, but it will both have one area for small, one for large. So, yep.
So will they have to have their dogs leashed as they go past the soccer field so the dogs aren't running?
That's the kind of goal that we always have. You get in, and it's really kind of interesting. You get into the one gate, and then you wait there inside, and then you choose to go into the small one or into the large one. So, and it's always a good policy to have your dog on a leash.
I would recommend putting a gate in between.
Oh yeah, no, it's separated.
Not a big waiting area for everyone.
We were trying to figure out. I think it's like one gate in, and then it goes to 2 gates. We're kind of following what we've seen in other dog park areas. So you go in one at a time. You wait till.
But I mean, if you have one gate going in and then an open area and then the 2 gates, split that area with a gate. So the big and the small dogs aren't together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, their own
Their own
section. So,
size,
yeah,
okay.
yep. And then both sections will also have larger doors that we can access because we'll have to maintain these areas. So there's actually a lot of thought
Yeah, a
process.
lot of garbage cans around.
Garbage cans,
A lot of doggy poop
Yeah.
days.
A lot
Yep.
of
So,
collections.
by the way, one of our things that we have found out for policing, if it becomes a problem, we just lock it down. And usually if you lock it down, people get the hint and then we open it back up like, let's just say a week or a couple days. And people get a hint and they start then taking care of the dogs and picking them up after.
So, what if there's a dog that's not friendly and something happens? Are we responsible for any injuries or problems?
We have recreational immunity, but if your dog bites somebody else, you're responsible for your dog. They just can't go after us. Yeah, I'm sure they'll sue us.
And that's a very good question, because as you can see, your dogs are kind of interesting, They all react to different people and different dogs, so.
I'm
But
sure there'll be signage with a standard set of rules.
we'll put plenty of signage but again, we're not the first community to have a dog park. They're out there, so.
Are you going to list required vaccines for dogs and things like that to go in?
So I've heard this discussion back and forth. Some people want to hear this. I think this is something that I will bring up with Jeff, our attorney. We'll discuss. But some people who love their dogs also say there's a lot of people that don't get their dogs vaccinated, so they don't like taking their dogs to dog parks. So what we can do for signage and kind of look at it, what other communities do, we're probably going to copy like what other communities do because it makes sense.
Manuka does a good job with their signage.
Okay.
They have pretty big signs right when you walk in.
Okay.
And then they have a covered one where if there's a notice.
Okay.
They also do a, where you can look online if it's closed because of weather. If it's too muddy,
Yeah.
they'll put on there that it's closed. So you don't drive all the way there and find out that it's closed. That's always really nice to have.
Those are both very good things. Thank you.
I
Well,
frequent to dog
again,
parks a lot.
again, this is like the knowledge of people that go to dog park. It helps us to do a better job so that we're prepared. So.
If there's benches around, that's always a nice.
Yeah, we're looking at benches, water source, that was a key one. Definitely a couple benches. Even that like waiting area between the two, we want to kind of maybe do pavers, something where we know that area is going to be hit the most. How do we make it less muddy?
Has anyone who's looking at this gone over to Manuka and looked at theirs?
I believe Aaron from our office has used.
I mean,
Yeah.
they've been doing it for a long time. I'm sure they've learned a lot of things from when they started to now.
And we're still in the early stages. Yes, but these are all good pointers for us
Yeah.
as we start thinking.
Do a laundry list.
Yep.
Do the dogs have to be licensed? To be in there?
Have you ever seen that in Manuka, if they have to be licensed? And again,
I'm not sure because mine always are, so I don't really pay attention and mine are always up to date.
I was just
Yeah.
going to say, isn't it a city requirement?
But if they come from do all cities require? Because they might not come from Muskego. You get them from all over.
yeah, we'll put all this stuff on there now. Again,
Yeah.
us personally checking all this, we don't have time. Yeah, but we can do our due diligence and make sure that we have everything posted both on the website and, getting signage. It's cheap, it's easy to do, to put signage on there. But these are all good points that
Yeah,
I'm
I'm-
going to look back and just make sure that we are
I think
prepared.
on Manuka's website, they have that all listed too,
Okay,
where they have all the requirements and stuff. So when you look before you go, you know what you have.
yeah. But this is going to be a big one. I mean, from the surveys, we always
Yeah.
got top 5. I mean, people,
It's been a
Request
point
us.
of discussion for
Yep.
a long time.
Well, it's good we're going forward.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be well loved.
You don't need any action on this?
no, it's just telling it's coming. Just, I want to, this is one of our big ones. The second one, Veterans Playground is going to get replaced. Tammy did a great job. She got a grant for us, so we were able to buy this piece of equipment. This is the large piece of equipment. It's going to be, as you can tell, the height, it's going to be a significant change to what's out there now. Footprint's going to be the same. We're still adding other things. I believe the American Legion is working on a goal of 20,000 help for seating. We also are planning our first community build, so this is a big deal for us. We're reaching out to anyone else to be part of this. There'll still be people with the playground to be kind of like the managers, and we have started to reach out to other people with contracting and construction skills, and our goal, even to provide food, coffee, whatever, for all the workers. We're trying to do this in a day or two or a weekend to get this done, but it'll be our first community build out there, and it'll probably be our best-looking playground equipment in the city of Muskego. It's used a lot by everyone, so you'll always see people there. It also will have a rubber mat for the whole, kind of like at Sand Hill Park if you've been there as well. So anyone wants to volunteer or get volunteers, we're always looking. And it doesn't, again, have to be just doing the construction, food, water, anything to make it easy for everyone who's helping out to do it in a day.
What's your target?
So
that's what I was just gonna-
what we're trying to do is try to get through the whole spring, summer, is that correct? Yep, and we want to get through playgrounds, we want to get everything, and then do it in September. That was our goal.
So it's gonna be a fall
Yep.
project. Yeah. We don't want it built by the Vikings.
So those are the big two, our big two projects for coming up in 2023. So,
Looks great.
yeah, it'll be nice. Hey, Tammy, what's our colors again? Is it the blue or?
So it's, we are, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're shooting. So we are sticking with the Veterans Memorial Park theme, so the colors are going to be red, white, and blue in some capacity. So this play structure that we ordered is those colors. And then the picture's cut off because there will be bays of swings. There will be a lot of ground elements. It is a heavily ADA compliant, kid-friendly playground, so we will have lots of ground features and things. Those are going to be the accessory colors of the reds and whites, kind of filling that in. Nice. Footprint will be pretty close to the same, but we're going to be bumping out a little bit towards the front to give us a landing base for people to come in off the sidewalk and kind of enter in. And everything else will stay the same there.
Very nice.
It looks nice.
And we're always looking for donations. If anyone or any groups are out there, like I said, American Legion's trying to raise 20,000, help with some shading and benches. We're always looking for something we can add different elements. We're going to have like a little, this is more 5 to 12, but then we'll have like a 2 to 5 kind of little area. And like I said, Tammy said swing set bays, so.
Any other comments?
Yeah, or questions?
Looks good. Okay. Director's reports. Recreation manager. Tammy, you want to summarize?
Sure. To take my glasses off so I can even remember what I wrote. So basically what I provided was more of the park highlights than the recreation highlights. Fortunately, we are starting to come back to pre-COVID numbers for the rec department. We're starting to see our enrollment start to pick back up to where we were before COVID, which is great. We are ahead of the game from a lot of our communities where they are still struggling to get people back. So we are continuing to have heavy use of our parks. The shelter rentals are still up. Before COVID, we would have, on a really, really good year, about 50 rentals. We got up to 75 the first year of COVID. Last year, we were close to 200 rentals. This year, we are at 139, and that's just the rentals of our park shelters. So we're still doing really well in that. Idle Isle is still very busy. We added concessions this year. We've not had staffed concessions. That went very well. We brought in just about $13,000 in revenue on the concession stand. with a lot of hiccups with staffing, as everybody else has. Adam and I sat down there some days renting out kayaks and selling stuff, but we hope that'll be better for next year. And then we're still busy with boat launches and passes. A lot of people still utilizing all the lakes and everything, which is good. And like I said, with the increase in the launching fees, that will help us to do, we need to fix several of our launches. Dunoon for sure needs to be addressed. We have some work at Idle Isle, so we will hit those things. The thing that makes me happiest, I guess, is we've brought in over $460,000 in our little office of 2 people doing rentals, and that is the fee. That's what we brought in ourselves, like handling registrations and rentals and field use and things like that. So for a little community that's not a little community, we actually do a big impact in the community compared to others. So, and we just see that the only program that did not have growth was the playground program. We are still struggling to get those numbers back like we had before. So the only shortage we had in our anticipated revenue was in our playground account, and we were down $20,000 because we were down like 40 kids. So we are going to actually put out our own special brochure this year for just summer playgrounds, and we're going to start promoting it in February and try and get enrollment before some of the other locations do, to try and get our numbers back up. But we still had 155 kids this last year, so not that it was a bad number, but we used to have 200, and you can kind of feel it. Like the kids like when it's the big groups, they have a lot of fun, and when you're only getting like 45 kids a day, it's not as much fun for the kids.
Tammy, you know, we have a different schedule for school now for the next, we get out at different times. So I know a lot of people are concerned about the program. You guys adjusted last time, right? When we changed it?
That is our goal. I've talked to most of my college staff are going to be pretty ready to come back. I have a few that will have to take. My biggest concern is like college ends in May, and there's that 4-week window of like, especially we have a lot of nursing students that they have class during that time frame. So we will try and work it out. We don't have very many high school kids that work for us, so that's kind of good. We don't have to worry about dealing with that. So we should be ready to go by the time they're done in June.
Okay, any other questions for Tammy? Thanks, Tammy.
Yep.
Is Tom here tonight?
He is not.
So you got, are you going to talk about? Oh, I thought maybe you were going to be the Tom surrogate.
He couldn't make it here tonight. He wrote a memo. Again, he is more than willing to talk to you about anything with conservation at any time, so feel free to give him a call or anything like that. But again, this meeting got changed a couple times, so he just couldn't make it tonight. So
I will say this, anybody that has not been to Batesher should go. I couldn't make the group tour, but Tom and I went out there together, and Tom gave me a tour after that when I was back in town. Pretty impressive piece of property and the work that he's done out there.
I also went separately, and that man knows every flower, weed.
Yes, he does.
It's just amazing. It's very interesting.
Okay, everybody got his report and the management plan that he had put together. Any miscellaneous business? Announcements? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming.